What's going on, y'all? Ocean Omancha here, back with another figure review. Today we're going to be revisiting the Dragon Ball Daima Vegeta figure. I recently came across an Instagram user by the name of SilverMetal81 who made a Z casting of Vegeta's arms and legs, so they're bulkier and they're more reflective of Vegeta in the Cell Saga. So being that Tamashii just recently announced a wave of new Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts, including a Cell Games Super Saiyan Vegeta 3.0, I saw SilverMetal81's castings and decided that wouldn't hurt to have that Z Vegeta look earlier. I got myself a second Vegeta Daima from Best Buy and I ordered his painted kit. Currently he's out of stock, but I believe he's going to be making some more. He has two kits for the arms and legs. There's a painted one and an unpainted one. I got the painted one because I can't paint. I'm not going to try it. Well, I'm not gonna try it yet. So I got the painted kit. It was like about 35 bucks, and I think it was maybe like a couple dollars for shipping, so close to 40. It wasn't too crazy. These are resin 3D prints. I already took the shipping label off of mine, so you guys don't see my address. So I'm gonna get all these pieces out for it. So disclaimer, there's two disclaimers actually. I'm going to attach a link in my description to his original video giving a tutorial on how to do this. I wanted to do it for myself and just see how the articulation is with the molding on. So first disclaimer, he did recommend not using hot water on the painted kits because the hot water can cause the paint to be removed. So he recommends for heating up any of these pieces to be using a hair dryer. I'm going to be using hot water just for the joints of the Vegeta figure itself, and then when it comes to this, I'm going to be grabbing a hair dryer to soften up anything that needs to be softened up. Second disclaimer, if you are not comfortable with disassembling an SH Figuarts figure, this might not be for you because this does come with some disassembling. It's nothing too in-depth, but if you're not comfortable with taking a figure apart, this might not be for you. But if you want to watch along and see if it's something you might be comfortable in, stick around. I always recommend, if you're going to be doing anything like this, to get yourself a spare figure that you would not be upset about messing up. So for the kit itself, he has pieces for the biceps, he has forearm pieces, quad pieces, and calf pieces. So for the arms, they come off pretty easily, like so. I'm going to start with the forearm piece, so I'm going to take this hand off. So this wrist peg needs to come out, so I have some hot water right here. Gonna dip that in there for a little bit just to soften it up. I forgot to grab some paper towel. I need to grab a piece of paper towel for this. I always recommend, if you're gonna be using the hot water route, which is usually my preference, I don't really like using a hair dryer on joints, but if you're gonna be using the hot water method, I highly recommend getting a piece of paper towel so you don't burn yourself when you take the piece out of the water. I might as well do both arms while I'm at it, because it's gonna take a little bit for these joints to soften up. Let's see if they're good to go now. Yep, that one came out smooth. Let's see if this one will come out smooth as well. Yep, there we go. Easy enough. Let's move the water aside. You take the gloves off right here. You pull the bicep off. Okay, cool. So this is the bicep we need. Might need to warm up this forearm piece so I can get that off. Like I said, if you are not comfortable with disassembling a figure, this might not be for you. To be honest, this is also my first time fully disassembling a figure to this extent, so we're going into this together, y'all. So if you're not that comfortable doing this, you're not alone right now. Okay, after a year and a day, we finally got the forearm piece off. Now we can move along. So the longer piece of the elbow joint goes into the bicep. So that pops in like so. Okay. Now we can put the glove back on. And I believe there's a certain ridge that the glove has to follow. You just look at the, oop, well, there goes that one. There's no reference anymore. Yeah, so you can kind of see where it curves. So it's like here. So there's like a little ridge and you can kind of see where the arm curves. And that's where that goes. So now we can pop the wrist joint back in. There we go, I believe that's in there. Yeah, that feels pretty solid. Probably gonna need some shock oil for some of these joints, at least the wrist joint. Pop this back on, and wow, that looks good. So just for the sake of comparison, I'm gonna put the left arm back onto Vegeta, his original arm. So that's his old arm. This is his new arm. This is looking good. I see you, SilverMetal81. This is looking good, bro. I would say the new pieces are slightly more matte than the shoulder piece, but in most lighting, it's not going to be that noticeable, but it does look really good. Full range of the bicep joint. For the left arm, I kind of shredded up the forearm. It was a pain in the ass to pull out. It's a little messed up, but I don't plan on reusing these pieces. If you do plan on reusing your Daima pieces for anything, I do recommend having 2 pliers. For this forearm piece, it's very snug. After you heat this up, you're going to want to have one that grips one side and the other that grips the other side. Unless you have a softer tool, or if you cover this in some type of cloth so you don't scratch up the plastic, which I might end up doing, it's not really going to be reusable. It is snug on there. It took me quite a little bit to get the other one off. Just a heads up if you plan on reusing these. Okay, we got it nice and heated up. Grip this piece. There we go. I don't plan on reusing these pieces. They're a little scratched up, but it's neither here nor there. Pop this in like so. Push this forearm piece on. Get the glove piece on there. Follow the curve. Just using sheer willpower. All right, that's in there. This bulky Vegeta's looking good. Now for the legs. Pop it off at the top of the quad. There we go. These pieces for the boots come off pretty easily, like that. So for the quad joints, we're gonna want this little ball piece that's inside of the top of the quad that connects to the hip. So we're gonna need to heat this up and then use a needle nose plier so we can that right out. Calf pieces, it comes off pretty easily, so I'm just gonna put that to the side for now. Heat both of these quad pieces up. We wanna get these nice and malleable so we can just pop those little joints out. There we go. Got that one out fairly easily. This one as well. Pop these into the new pieces. There's little divots in the thigh piece where these are supposed to sit. Push it in. Now that's sitting in there nice and pretty. Do the same to the other piece. Nice and snug. Now we're gonna have to resubmerge these quads to pull them off of their knee joints. And like I said earlier in the video, and I want to reiterate again, you're gonna need a lot of patience for this. So I have some fabric on the joint so I don't mess up the joint. Not too pressed about the quad piece. It would have been nice if he put like inside. I know it's like small and hard to do, but maybe like signifying with like a piece of paint of some sort that which one is which, like a red dot for right or something. So we got the left leg situated. Nice. Looking good so far. Swivel still on point. So for the right side, pull the calf piece off. Gonna dunk it underwater for a little bit. Quad piece is off. Take the new quad piece, pop that right in. That catch, that crazy catch just there. Y'all missed that. It was an off-camera catch. There we go. Got that snap. Pop that right in. Ooh. Now let me just get a little bit of shock oil onto these wrists because they're very tight. And then I'm gonna get his hands on there. We're gonna take a final look at him because I'm really digging how this is looking. That shock oil found its way in there. Okay, cool. There we go. Cool. Just gotta build up that movement back in that wrist and we're good. So I pulled out my other Daima Vegeta with the original parts so we can compare the two. So on the left side, we have the updated Z Daima Vegeta figure. And on the right side, we have the original. So you can see side by side how much bulkier our new Vegeta is, both in the forearms and the bicep. The quads are decently thicker as well as the calves. I think overall, like this is a really good upgrade to do. I saw somebody on Instagram do a 3.0 quote unquote mod with their Daima where they took the arms and the legs from the 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta, and it looks okay. I don't feel like it's worth mixing 2.0 like old molds with newer 3.0 parts. I think being able to keep the original joints of the 3.0 just looks better in my opinion. All in all, if I was going to give this Vegeta a rating on a scale from 1 to 7 Dragon Balls, I would definitely have to give this a 7. Now that you can pop on any of the other Vegeta head sculpts onto him, as well as updated neck pegs that other people are making for different modifications, including the recustom Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta head sculpt that's going to be coming out next year for this guy. Having the bulkier look is definitely going to be clutch. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Shout out again to Silver Metal 81 for making this sculpt. I'm gonna have his Instagram and his tutorial video linked in the description. He should be having more of these coming up soon, and I believe he has other sculpts in the works as well. So make sure you give him a follow on Instagram if you want to keep up to date with that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you get notified every time I drop a new figure review video. And until next time, peace.